Hey guys, it's LaMena. Welcome to another exciting episode of Science from my sofa. This is where an intro would go if I had any idea what I'm doing. I still don't. Don't expect it to happen anytime soon. Okay, so it's June and we are celebrating Pride Month, so we're talking about sponge sex. I bet you wish we weren't, but you're gonna learn way more about how sea sponges reproduce today than you ever wanted. And it's because of a tweet that Nickelodeon sent out earlier this month. In that tweet, they had 3 characters pictured. Well, one was the actor Michael Cohen, who's on Henry Danger, who's a trans man. One was Avatar Korra from The Legend of Korra, who is a bisexual character. And one, and this kind of broke Twitter for a little while, SpongeBob SquarePants. So the question is SpongeBob gay? SpongeBob, as a character, is a sea sponge. He lives underwater, and he's a sponge. He's supposed to be a sea sponge. Although, being yellow and kind of square, I think he might be a kitchen sponge who was adopted, but that's a whole other conspiracy video. His parents, however, if you look at them, are sea sponges. Stop telling me that his parents are cookies. His parents are not cookies. Sea cookies makes no sense. They get soggy. In 2005, Steven Hillenburg, the creator of SpongeBob, already had to address the question of SpongeBob's sexuality because a whole bunch of people were already on the SpongeBob's a gay icon train. And I get it. I see it. He actually said at the time that he thought of SpongeBob as more asexual. This is kind of hilarious to me because I took it as yet another marine biology joke from the creator of this show, who used to be a marine biologist, or I think a marine biology teacher. I'm not sure. I probably should have looked that up before making this video. First off, let's talk about sexual versus asexual reproduction and what these terms mean. Sexual reproduction, as you've probably already figured out, involves 2 parents. There has to be a fusion of gametes or sex cells, a sperm and an egg cell. Not everything that has sexual reproduction, however, has sex. Trees, like the ones outside right now, have sexual reproduction. Trees do not have sex. Stop whatever internet search you were about to do. Think about your life choices. Asexual reproduction is different. It has only one parent and it makes exact copies. It's easier for a couple of reasons. One, quite simply because it's faster. You don't have to find another member of your species to reproduce with. And one, because you'll never be broken up with. I know what you're gonna say. It's not me, it's you. Oh, it's me? Okay. Sponges are animals. Barely. They're not really what you'd think of in terms of animals, especially because we have a tendency to be kind of vertebrate biased. Sponges are really simple. They're not very differentiated. Most of their cells kind of all do similar jobs or the same job. Sponges don't move around like most animals do. They do when they're larvae, when they're little baby sponges. They can actually swim to someplace, but then they attach, and as adults they are called sessile, which means that they do not move. They don't go anywhere. I don't know if you've noticed this, but if you don't go anywhere, you have a harder time finding mates. So sponges, when they reproduce sexually, the male sponges just give off sperm out into the water, which in terms of SpongeBob, let's never think about that again. No, I'm sorry. Nope, I'm out. So since there's no mating, there's really no mate preference, which means sponges aren't really straight or gay. They're just spongy. Sponges also reproduce asexually because, like I said, all of their cells have a tendency to do very similar things. Parts can actually break off on purpose, like with budding, or not on purpose, like fragmentation, where part of it actually gets ripped off, and that fragment can become a whole new sponge. So when you've seen SpongeBob go through all of those crazy little machinations where he gets cut into pieces and then puts himself back together,
if any of those pieces escaped, SpongeBob is probably a dad.
Last point, and this is why it's perfect for Pride. Sponges are often hermaphrodites. They go through male phases and female phases. So while SpongeBob is a boy now, he may not always have been, and he may not always be. Happy Pride!